Hi, Chris from DynoJet here. In this video we're going to talk about some of the various Quickshifter shift sensors that you can use. Now a shift sensor is basically just a switch. Whenever you upshift, you want to trigger the engine to kill so that you can make the upshift clutchless and full throttle. What type of shift linkage you have on your bike would determine the type of switch that you're going to use to trigger the engine kill. Now if your bike's shift linkage and shift pattern are otherwise stock, you can generally find what's necessary listed on our website by selecting the make, model, and year of the vehicle. But with aftermarket rear sets or changing the shift pattern, reversed or GP shifting, you might need something different. So laid out here on the table are the various types of shift sensor switches that we offer. The most common is our shift rod pressure sensors. These are most commonly used, A, because they're aesthetically the best looking on the bike, and B, most street bikes are going to have a tie rod in the shift linkage. This type of shift sensor will sense a compression force or a tension force in the tie rod and will trigger the engine to kill upon that appropriate type of force. So here we are on our 2012 R1. Here's an example of our rod pressure sensor here, and it basically is going to sense either compression or tension in the shift linkage whenever I'm upshifting to trigger the engine kill. Now if we were in a standard shift pattern where we are lifting up on the toe lever, we are subsequently pulling on our tie rod. Our tie rod is under a pull force. Therefore, we would require a pull type pressure sensor. Alternatively, if this were set up for GP shifting and I were pushing down on the toe lever to go up in gear, the tie rod would be under a compression force. And in that scenario, this would need to be a push type shift sensor. Two other types of rod pressure sensors are in our Harley-Davidson kits. In the Harley-Davidson kits, you'll get the rod and the heim joint. This one in particular is for the Harley-Davidson touring models, the Softails, and the Dynos, basically the big twin models, excluding the Dyno Wide Glide. Alternatively, if you don't have a tie rod in your shift linkage, or if you don't have enough clearance around your tie rod to store a rod pressure sensor, you might use a linear style shift sensor. A linear style shift sensor will bolt to a fixed location on the bike, the other end will bolt to the shift lever, and as you shift, the linear sensor will telescope in and out of itself. Another variation of the linear shift sensor is our off-road linear shift sensor, and this one just has a longer curved rod at the end at this heim to go around the front sprocket. A linear shift sensor is also available in a push or a pull. If you are lifting up on the shift lever and compressing the linear shift sensor when you upshift, you would want a push type linear shift sensor. Likewise, if you wanted to trigger the engine to kill when the linear shift sensor is extended, you would require a pull type. Finally, our last type of switch is a simple handlebar mounted push button. This is generally used in applications where you might not be able to modify the shift linkage because of race league rules or for other reasons. This basically is just a simple switch mounted to the handlebars. You would preload the shifter with your foot and then push the button to make the shift.